clean out. But for now, let me just focus on the other aspect of the design till we are able to achieve what we at least achieve enough before we start moving to the other one. So I'm going to go down to this particular shape here. I want it to be a gradient shape. So I'm going to come down to the gradient tool. Anyways, first of all, I'm going to double click it and give it a purple color like this. But I can leave it with this, just the plain shape. But I'm just thinking of trying out a gradient on it. So gradient effects like this. Sorry, gradients. One side needs to be dark and the other side needs to be bright for the gradient to work fine. One side needs to be brighter. So most times the darker shade needs to be by the left while the other one be by the right. So but it actually works with your handle here. So you see when I play around with the handle, it moves the direction of all these things here. So what I want to do, I want to just like give a little bit of line on this effect here. So let me see if so the next thing I'm going to do is to add some other details from our folder where we typed, sorry, our file. So I come down here. I want to add just like some points at the front. I'm just going to do this box thing. And then I'll just give it the same curve. Or it's not curved actually. So if you want to curve the shape, you go down to Windows, sorry, Windows, property, and then you can just drag. You see this handle? You just drag it out a bit. So I'm just going to come this folder, this group I have for the guest. I'm going to lock it because somehow the pictures are kind of distracting. If I want to copy this one, for example, and I want to move just this wire 10, for example, you see it's moving the other pictures. Why? Because some part of those pictures are kind of showing down, like they are reflecting down here, but we can't see it. So if I highlight this angle, it's going to pick those ones as well. So I'm going to come up to the guests this thing and just lock it here. So I won't be able to select it again. So if you have certain things like this picture of the background at the top here, like you don't want to change them, you don't want them to obstruct you when you're trying to move something, you can lock it. So this is what we have. Um, this is what we actually have. So I'm going to add another box here. I just duplicate this one, Control T, then I resize it. I just want to use this box for another information. Yeah, so next thing I'm going to add the venue, the date, and then I would add other information. So I'll first of all go to search for icons. Like, okay, let me just create a new folder. So I want to add the venue. There's the way I want to position the icon. So I'm just going to search for venue icon. So what I usually do, I go on Vectizi. There's a site called vectizi.com. So when you go there, you can be able to find icons that you can use. So I already have some of them saved on my system here. So I will just see if I can find this location icon. Yeah, so this is the one I'm looking for. Let's go. There's a particular folder where I usually save them. Let me see if I can be able to find if I've saved them here. I usually save them as a PNG, but anyways, let me just do it for you here so you can be able to understand. So this is it on Adobe Illustrator. So I'll open it on Illustrator. So these are various options of icons here. So what I usually do, I have to have like a variety of icons when I want to work. I come here, I delete the background layer. So as it is now, the background is transparent. So what you need to do is to save it as a PNG. Come to File, Export, Save, Save as PNG, Use Artboard. You need to click on Use Artboard. Anyways, you can still not click on Use Artboard, but in most cases, when you want to export just the things within the artboard, you click on Use Artboard. Then I'll just save it on my icons folder. Next up, I'll go to my icons folder, icons. I just really want to pick one from here. So drag it, go to Photoshop, you drop it on a new file place, on a new as a new file, a new space. And then I'll just cut out one of these. So let me see which one I can cut out here. So I'll just cut out this particular one here. Yeah, this one, or I can use this one. It just depends on which one looks okay. Let me just use this one. It actually looks like the proper zone. Then I'll cop layer via. Okay, this is the way I do. Once you use this lasso tool, you drag it around the area you want to cut out. Then tap. Then you say layer via copy. It will give you the particular layer. Then you can just drag it. You see, I'm dragging only down, and then I'll drag it down to our folder. Here it comes big, so you Control T, you resize it down like this. Resize it. Oh, so I actually want to place it at the front here with a little circle around on like behind it, so it's kind of give this effect. This kind of effect I'm trying to achieve. So what I'm going to do to achieve that. So this is it. So I'm going to create an ellipse tool. Create an ellipse tool. Make it white. Should be white. So this one is black. I'm going to make this one make it white. Then drag it so it's oh I can't see it. Drag it here. Ensure that it's on top of on top of this layer. I just want to have this effect here. So I drag it high a bit. Then I'll place it in between. I'll resize this one. So these stuffs can actually take time, but you can just take your time to do them properly in a way that they work nice. So this is it. Let's say I'll click on this one and just give it a yellow color, for example, or I'll paste the gradients to it. Let me see. I'll paste our same layer style, our layer gradients on it, and then map it in a way that it fits, it reflects properly so the icon can show very well. So what I want to do, I want to duplicate the circle, Control J, take the ellipse behind, turn off the gradient. I still wanted to have this, oh sorry, I'm not resizing the actual one. Control T, this way. Like, I make it white again. You get, I make it white. Then I want it to be this what I want to achieve with it, but I think I need to increase the size of this ellipse below a bit, and I want the two ellipses to match together. It should be on the same size. So I have to select the both of them and click on align, align. So they went straight up to the center of the screen because my alignment is positioned to the frame. So this is it. This is what I wanted to achieve here. So in this segment, you can add the location, the zone. So I think it's a bit too big. So select all of them, icons plus everything, and then drop it down a bit like this. I think this is fine. Then gradient in this one, I think I need to play with it a bit. It's too bright. Yeah, I think this is okay. Then the icon, let me try making it white and see. Try making it white. I think it works better than the black. It works better than the black. So anyways, this is what I was trying to achieve with the icon. So I'm just going to type in the venue. I don't really have a venue yet, but anyways, let me just type in something. As you can see, the flyer is coming out well. We're having the venue. Most times, these details are what beautify the flyers. The proper positioning of all these informations are what position, the proper positioning, the colors you use, the contrasts. That's what I explained in the previous models of this course. So if you're able to understand how to place all these things properly, you'll be able to achieve nice designs. So this is that's that about the venue. So I'm going to just duplicate this so we can have the dates in between and the time as well. So looking at this, the dates, I'm just going to type in any dates, like any date at all. So let's just say um so we can play around with date to see how we can achieve some contrast. So let me see if I can make this 19th bold and bigger than the rest because that's the dates that people want to see. The actual dates, then the other things are complementary that will just make it look well. So this is what we have. I'm trying to resize it. 2023. Zoom in. The October needs to be way smaller. Smaller. Let me just make it 3. So what I need to do is to adjust the size between the line heights of the font. So I'll just keep on adjusting this line height till I get the proper one that works fine. So it's because I'm changing the size of the font. That is why it's giving me this awkward positioning. So 19th. Yeah, I think this is nice. I like the way the 19th is very bold. Then I need to position 2023. Let's make it 6, for example. Yeah, it's okay. Then I would increase the. Anyways, I'll just go to the text and then I'll just do this center alignment. Let me see if this works. Yeah, I think this is nice. This is nice, but the space between 2023 and 19 is a bit too small. So add back, let me just make it 7 so you don't go too far. Don't go too far. So I think we are good like this with this one. This is the date of the event. October 19, 2023. Okay, so I am not so comfortable with the way this the venue, this arrangement is here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Control Z, take it back to the long shape we have before I reduce it down. Yeah, the way it was. Yeah, back like this. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to add icons for these ones, which is the dates and the time. I'm going to try adding icons to them. So let me see if. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this. It's not actually too bad. So I'm going to drag, like I said, I'll drag all this one like this, and then I'll press Ctrl G to group them. You can see I can turn them off. So this way I can even align these ones to see, oh, they're kind of giving me this alignments to the right side, which I don't really think is proper. So yeah, this is what we have for the event. So I'm just going to type in registration. So yeah, so what I think I need to add now is the names of the guests, their names and probably any position. Okay, I already have that crafted, written down in my notes. So I'm just going to take them. Okay, I forgot. I locked the guests layers. So we'll go back and turn them on. So you see, that one is there. So let's go down. I look for the guest. So I'll turn it on. So I want to see if I can make some adjustments to the guest layer. Just take it up a bit. Okay, anyways, I'll lock the guest layer again so I can give some white space within some space between this one. So I bring it down since the only details I have to paste down is the contact details and a little information. So I'm almost done with the flyers. Just to add the guests' names and then their titles, and then we add one or two information and we're done. So next thing, I'll just go and copy the guest name. Back to our notes. First is Emmanuel Josh. for example. Just an example is not any real name. So Emmanuel Josh, Emmanuel Josh, I'm going to paste it. So I'm going to type in my contact information. I'm going to duplicate. No, I wanted to duplicate this one, the name. I want to use this font, this particular font, instead of typing again. So this might not be like a perfect flyer, but at least this can serve. So let me see. Contact info. Then if there's any details you feel like you might want to add. Let me see if I can add something. I don't really want to complicate the flyer, but let me see if I can add something. So for this one, I think the speakers are just there. There's no indication of who they are. Like, are they speakers? Are they what? So I'm just going to add something there. I'll duplicate this text and make it white. So this is I'm just trying out something here. It's not like it's really the best, but I can leave it like this, or I could just take out the names and on a more reasonable notes, I can just delete this text, then drag this one up and just maybe put it up here, and I'll bring down the speakers a bit, or generally the guests, I say speakers. I'll bring them down. So I can then type speakers up here. Or I shouldn't have deleted that particular other text. So what I'm going to do, I'll just centralize this one, and then I'll just leave it at black, remove the bold fonts, increase the size to 8, for example. 8 might be too much. Let's just leave it at 8, and then I will use one of those fonts like this one. Or the other one, anyone that works out well, or this one. I can go down and start searching for fonts, stylish font, but no need for that. It's just a tutorial. So whenever you're designing, you can still source out for for fonts that work out. So if I say I want to start going down or start looking for fonts, it might take too long. So I have a lot of fonts here. So I'll just use any of this one. Let me just say I use this one. This one is more visible. Speakers. I'll just add S to it. So speakers. These are all the speakers here. For example, centralize it. So I might just make it a little bit bigger, so it's kind of more emphasized. So then 10, I'll just drop it down to 10, then I think this is okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll need to drop down some of this information, like especially this date here. I need to take it down, this one. So there'll be like more space between these things and like they'll be more positioned properly. So first of all, I'll just turn off these guests so I can freely move the other one. I'll just lock it and then I'll move this one down. I don't want to give that speakers up. The speakers, that's the name. I just want to give him more room to show very well. So now I can drag all the speakers down. Yeah. Okay, like this. Then the name speaker, take it up a bit. Yeah. So I think this is okay. I'll just leave it at this. I don't think I'm adding any other information again. I can add theme. Let me just move this up a bit and see if maybe this is okay like this. So one last thing I'm going to add. Okay. No, actually the last one extra idea I have before I add up one other thing that I might not add, but let me just do the last thing, then try out the other one. So I'm going to add something to the background. Let it not just be like plain white. You know, I just use the plain white background. So if I go down to the background, I can just add a solid color and maybe make the background not to be too white, like blank, plain white. We just drop it down a bit so it to have a little bit grayish tone like that, like this. So you can see the difference is too bright, it's when it's white. So like this, it's a bit better than just being plain white. So yeah. So this is okay. So I'm going to add something to the background. I'll go back to my vector files and then I'll drop it on the background here. So with that I can resize it a bit. Yeah, so you can see I'll then play around with the layer styles here. I don't seem to see anyone that's like gives me the perfect blend. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it on multiply, then I'll just drop the opacity down a bit. Drop the opacity. Let me see if I can add some effects to it at the top, some brightening effects. So if I come here, I can do bright brightness and contrast, and then I add it up a bit. You can see it's making the flyer look more bright. Brightness and contrast, and then yeah, and then I can maybe do color balance just to retouch the colors a bit better. So then lastly I can do maybe curves just to adjust the brightness a bit. Curves, and then I just curve it too much, it makes it too dark. So I just like this and then I touch it here. So let me see if I turn off all the effects, turn them on again. So it's kind of work better. So you can go further. Like, okay, I wanted to add like a blurry effect of, let's say, a light bulb somewhere, but I feel the flyer is already okay like this. No need to start adding or changing or doing anything. So I'm just going to leave it like this. It's good like this. So this is how you make a virtual event flyer in Photoshop.